Welcome to the Washdown podcast. And on today's episode, we have Kevin Byrd. And Kevin has been in the fire service for 26 years. We had a great conversation. Hope you guys enjoy it. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of laughs. So, yeah, here you go. The Washdown podcast with special guest Kevin Byrd.
No.
Oh,
that's how this one gets banned.
Well, so we won't say the same thing that we said the last time. So episode 132 is the one that got.
He remembers the episode number.
Yeah, I was just looking at it earlier today.
He angry.
I'm a little bit hot over it, to be honest with you. So, but before we get into that, Kevin.
What's up, buddy?
Thanks for doing the show, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
About time, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a busy man.
You are.
I am a busy man.
You are well sought after.
By the police and
filmed in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
The El Chapo interview.
Is that a knock?
Oh. So what? Let's get a little bit of your background and then we'll get into everything else. So why don't you introduce yourself and how long you've been in the fire service and how you got in the fire service?
Name's Kevin Byrd. 53 years old now. Been in the fire service for 26 years now, and got a couple more to go. Got on the job. Weird part about it was actually because of my pastor at church. And yes, I do have a little bit of country slang, so I know it sounds weird.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
I know. Hey, let them go. We've known each other long enough. Just let them all fly.
I thought maybe he had a sign on his pasture.
Yeah, I know. That's why. That's why I read.
So I was in the pasture one day.
But I understood what you were saying.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Right. But what it sounds like, how it came out, I know.
You're tired of bucking hay bales. It's fine, man. I get it. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, throwing hay sucks.
Oh, man. So he brought up in one of the sermons how God gives you certain gifts. At that time, I didn't drink. I don't do drugs. I was an adrenaline junkie, and I liked helping people. And I started thinking, I was like, well, what all can I do with that? After listening to his sermon. And I was like, all right, it's police department and fire department. Well, where I grew up, I'm only taking a bullet for my family. So I was like, I'm not getting shot at for anybody else. So I was like, all right, so the police department's out. And fire department just made sense. So that's how I got into the fire service.
So applied first time and got on? And
Oh, no. Oh, no. So first time I applied was with my buddy who I got my other job from, we were just discussing. Mm-hmm. And we both worked at a pet store together. And he had talked me into going down and putting my interest card in. The day that they were doing the testing for the, that would be the 91 or 92 class, that class that a couple people we know came through. I also got a call for an interview for animal control. And she basically guaranteed me a job, the lady that was doing that interview. So it was either I could go take a test and possibly get a job on the fire department, or I can go to animal control, get my foot in the door with the city, and then work on trying to get onto the fire department after that. So I took the guaranteed job. Well, little did I know that everybody in that class somehow all got 100%. So, so I messed up. I should have went the other direction. So it took me another, I guess that'd be another 6 years before I actually, 5 years before I actually got on the fire department.
So you worked for animal control for 5 years?
I worked for animal control for 5 years.
Dang. So
He'd be retired right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, here's the beautiful part about it, though. My vacation seniority.
Oh yeah, it comes with you.
It's based on that time. So I got guys that got 30 years on. They get mad because I get to pick my vacation before they do.
It's city time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that brings up a question. I didn't actually know that you had worked for animal control for before.
Me and 2 other guys on the job.
So what did they have you doing? Like, is that you just go around picking up stray dogs or?
Stray dogs. That's what I keep saying. I say animal control because I picked up dogs, cats, snakes, bats.
I'm out. Snakes got me.
Birds. Dude, I've tracked parrots down through trees. I ran a call with the Tiger King on a tiger attack.
Oh, fuck no, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, they said it was a tiger attack. It was one of the cubs that they had that was patting at the lady's necklace and caught her arm and scratched her pretty good. It opened her up.
Yeah.
But when they gave it to us, it came in as a tiger attack.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah, theoretically.
It's a tiger.
It was a tiger.
It's just a cub. It's a baby.
So, and they had them like in little playpens, and they would sit in the playpen down at Bartle Hall and, take pictures and play with them and stuff. Well, me and another friend of ours that was on animal control, we both go walking in, and we're like, all right, we're got tranquilizer gun and everything, and we're not sure what's going on. Next thing we know, it looked like SWAT running past us. About 20 heavily armed police officers in riot gear kind of go running past, and I'm like, what the hell is going, what are we about to get into? And then we get around the corner, and Joe Exotic was literally there. He's like, it's all right. It was only a cub, and it just scratched her. And they were ready to. Police were ready to unload on this. I was like, now they did have big cats there too, but matter of fact, I took a picture of one right after that whole little ordeal. I was like, hey, can I get a picture? And I got my picture. Dude, I cannot find that picture anywhere. Cannot find that picture anywhere. And Leroy was there with me, so he remembered. He was like,
oh man, that's
nope.
Yeah,
not a job for me,
dude.
No,
I do know they send you a letter in the mail when your dog barks and somebody complains.
Yes,
even though the dog was inside my house, and the only way that you can hear him bark inside the house is to be on my property, but they don't come out and investigate. So fuck them.
Okay.
For that.
All right. Dude, I used to.
Not you.
Yeah.
But them, the ones we have now.
Right. Well, and it's a totally different. Animal control is ran by totally different.
Yeah, it's changed over in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Where they're not even city employees anymore.
Mm-mm.
So they're all employees of a no-kill shelter somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, the pet project.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Yeah, because we had whenever I was still a firefighter, showed up at the station one morning out south, and there was a dog that was kind of running around. And I mean, a sweet dog, but like we coaxed it into the station, and I mean, it was kind of all messed up, and its feet were fucked up and stuff like that. And we're like, what do we do? So we call animal control and like, hey, you need to send somebody out here. We can't leave the station and just leave this dog in here,
Right?
And
Although it's been done before.
Yeah. So it took, I don't know, it took a couple hours and a couple different phone calls to different people until somebody finally came out and got the dog. But
yeah, I heard it is a lot harder to get them to show up now. But.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure it's just like everything else. They're short-staffed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was talking to Rachel about this the other day. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but calling out the Red Cross for fires. Like, they just don't show up anymore.
No.
Because they don't have anybody to work.
No, they just tell you take down the information and pass it on to them. And they'll get to them when they can.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
first time that happened, I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
These people have nowhere to go.
Right.
And it's summertime right now, so it's ungodly, and it's ungodly hot. Mm-hmm. Nowhere to go. And now we got winters around the corner.
Right.
I mean, we don't get much of a fall.
Well, I mean, think about back when, like you guys came on and when I came on, they called Red Cross out. Red Cross showed up, had the big RV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Well, and that's what sparked the conversation. I was talking about a fire that I had like 15 years ago where it was like 110 at 9 o'clock at night and guys were falling out and, people were puking all over the place because of heat exhaustion. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Rachel about, the Red Cross came out. They had this big truck and misters and all kinds of stuff set up.
Gatorade for it.
Yeah.
Had everything. It was great.
And now it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stop by the gas station on the way to the fire to make sure you got plenty of Gatorade.
You better keep a cooler in the rig, man.
At least afterwards, stop. Yeah. Quick Trip stop. I got it.
Yeah. We can't stop at Quick Trip together after a fire. That was the biggest shit show of a day. You broke your glasses. I broke my phone. James broke his face and his truck.
That was... Yeah, that one was... Ooh, good Lord. I forgot all about that.
So, you were working overtime. I was riding out as captain. Mm-hmm. Moran was working overtime or trading time with us.
I do remember that. I was off.
First in fire right behind the station. We go in. James gets covered in peanut butter.
Yep.
And burned on his face. I still don't know how
I still don't either. I was like, dude, what is that?
But I come out.
No.
I come outside. I come outside after we get done inside and look at him, and he got no glasses on. And he's got a lump on his face, and I'm like, "What happened?"
Pump panel was. We pulled off on the pump panel side, and when I went to go charge line 1, they had this weird extension on it because when
the pigtail
was way too long. And the pigtail literally hung out, was draped like down onto the pump panel. When I charged that sucker, it came up, bam, hit me right dead in the face. Dude, I was dazed.
Is this when I was on modified for my shoulder?
I don't remember if you were even at the station at that time.
No, I think I was.
Then yeah, you had to.
I had to have been on modified.
Yeah, you probably
because that was like an 8-month modified stint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get done with that.
That was my shoulder, by the way.
Come outside, see him, and he's like, "We got to go get my other glasses." I'm like, "Okay." And then I turn around and look at James, and he's covered in peanut butter. And then I look at him a little closer, and he's burnt on his face. And I'm like, "Oh, you got to get that taken care of." So we go to Quick Trip. We're going to stop at Quick Trip before we go get his glasses. Well, I go to get out of the pumper, and my phone is sitting in my lap, and I forgot. Shattered.
Yeah.
So, we're going to T-Mobile first. So we do that, go get his glasses.
I showed up at the station later that day because I remember talking to Moran about going to the ambulance.
Yeah, that was late because he didn't get back from the hospital until 10:30 or 11, and then started his truck to leave to go to the ambulance and ran out of gas. So I towed him from the parking lot over to Quick Trip where he proceeded to fill up, and then his truck wouldn't start because he killed the battery trying to prime it. It's a diesel.
That's 100% his fault.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
then his
yeah.
grandpa finally showed up and jumped it and got it started. So he didn't show up at the other station until like 2 a.m.
Hey, man, he showed up. That's all that matters.
He made it.
It was just a shit show of, like, man, what else could possibly
Was he
go
working
wrong?
for overtime, or was he trading time that day?
It might have been trade
I
time.
think he was trading time.
Yeah. Yeah. He was always trading time up
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was. I forgot about that. Matter of fact, that's why I got these glasses now. Because it literally broke the frames of the other one, and I told the eye doctor what happened, and she was like, "I think we make titanium rims," and I was like, well, "Let's do that."
just keep your face out of the way of hose couplings,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Anytime I see one of those now, like my rig doesn't. We've got a short section on a pigtail on there, but it doesn't come out of the.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't.
No.
I don't know how that one got put on there.
It's probably the one for the apartment line on the back.
Right in the back. Yeah.
I'm guessing they just switch out, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine. Just use it." They're just grabbing stuff and putting it on.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, that rig had more crap on it than was supposed to be by a long shot.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, so the YouTube thing. We started talking about the Joe Rogan podcast, and we're
Okay.
talking about Robert Kennedy Jr.
Okay.
being on the road, and we're talking about
Banned.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this
Some-
one, he just said the names.
Yeah, I said the name, so probably going to get banned. But like some of the stuff that he was citing, and was like, "Hey, you need to like check this stuff out." But that's all we said. The second that, because it uploads to YouTube at 5 a.m,
Mm-hmm.
at 5:01, I got an email saying it taken down due to violation of community guidelines.
Okay.
So you tell me, how did they go through an hour and a half podcast in a minute to take it down?
Yeah.
Didn't get taken down anywhere else. Still available on Spotify and all kinds of other places. But YouTube said,
Nope.
Nope.
That's what they bread and butter, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. We're rebels without a clue, I guess.
I understand.
So, 26 years on. How much longer are you staying?
Let's see. All depends on how long this overtime lasts. Because
So,
I've
forever.
got
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere.
I got one child's college paid off, and half of another one's paid off, and so I still got 1.5 to pay off. So I'm halfway there, and I figured with the overtime, unfortunately, the last 2 years I've made the mistake and gone up like a couple tax brackets, and
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah.
It hurts.
cutting a check to the government for $10,000. I'm like, yeah,
That's painful.
but I did, college. Like I say, the kids' colleges are getting paid off, but that kind of backfired on me too, because when they started doing, taking care of some of the student loans, I didn't qualify. We didn't qualify for any of that because
Don't worry,
I paid.
Nobody got any money.
I paid out of pocket, so I was like, so wait a minute, so I don't get any of this back? Nope. So I'm just screwed. Yep.
So when he pulled that out, everybody's going, hey, I might as well see if I qualify. We both qualified. Not a dime. Nothing. So you're not out anything.
Well, it's because it's still tied up in the court
It
system.
ain't going nowhere.
No,
And let's
it's
be
not.
honest. It's not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, I mean,
$0.
I love you.
$0.
Hey.
I mean, I'll take $10,000 from the government. They've taken enough money from me. Give me my money.
It's probably my 10 grand.
I'm gonna go learn how to do computer stuff because I don't know how. I'm gonna create me an algorithm to where my payments go over to the Byrd house.
He's going to create an algorithm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't even look at him right now.
Sounds good in theory.
We've been doing this for almost 3 years. He can't figure out how to use the microphone correctly. And he just figured out that there's a pause on this, not just a start-stop. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, I think you're safe. I can barely turn the damn thing on.
Hashtag fire Chris, right?
That's right.
Somebody knows.
Yes.
You got to comment on that shit.
I can't bring that up anymore. I had a stern talking to
By who?
a megalomaniac.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm the megalomaniac.
I figured out who he was talking about.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. That's a thinly veiled thing. No, we're trying to... So we talk about super heavy shit on here all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've watched the podcast,
yeah.
so you know. We also have a lot of fun, but sometimes the joking about certain things gets kind of old, and
Right.
it's just... And if it's... People are looking at the podcast for the first time, and they see some of the conversations that we have and some of the shit that we throw back and forth at each other, it kind of... Especially if they're not a first responder,
Right.
it could be taken
Out of context.
out of context.
I get no. I agree with that.
So
Yeah, I understand that.
it's all about and what we were talking about really for that whole conversation was trying to do this. We want to keep it kitchen table conversation, right? So we have fun, but talk about serious stuff in a fun way, so it's not all doom and gloom, but at the same time, be professional in the presentation of it.
Right.
Right. So because you know as well as anybody that if you're trying to put out a product like this and somebody sees it for the first time and it's bad audio, bad lighting, bad video, whatever it may be,
They're going to comment on it.
or they're just not going to watch
it. Yeah, they'll stop watching.
Yeah. So doing it as well as we can with our limitations is kind of what we're going for.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
He brought it up. I didn't bring it up. Throw that shit on me.
Chris.
I still think it's a great idea, but we can't get anybody to comment on it or vote on it. I mean, our comment section in our videos is
0.
Yeah.
pretty slim.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what to do. I'm not super savvy about the whole social media thing, so I don't know what we need to do to boost our visibility or whatever. If you've got any thoughts,
Having this sexiness on it.
Well, I can guarantee this is going to probably the most viewed podcast.
It would have been until you mentioned some names at the beginning. So
What names did I mention at the beginning?
The ones that are going to get us banned.
the ones that are going to get this episode banned.
Right. Well, I'll just go back and cut those out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
YouTube already knows.
Yeah, they're watching. They're listening on their phone.
Spyware on my computer.
Yeah. But yeah, 26 years. And like I say, probably about 3 more.
3?
Yeah.
That's,
Then I'll go full time to my other job, and
when are you going to retire?
man, I can't. Dude, last time I only had one job, just the fire department. My wife told me I had to go get another job because idle hands, the devil's playground.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I literally tore out. Let's see, the first project I did, I ripped the carpet off the stairs and then ripped the treads off and put hardwood treads in to match the hardwood floors that were in the living room and down in the family room. Then I ripped up the carpet down in the family room so that we would have a path that goes from the garage door to the back door, and did all that in tile. and it butted it right up into the hardwood treads that I put going down the stairs. After that, I ripped the deck off the back of the house and turned our 10 by 10 into a 12 by 20 deck. And she was like, "We don't have enough money for you not to have another job." so it'll probably be, I don't know, I'll probably end up like retiring like probably around 60. So
That's still only 7 years
yeah,
away.
only about 7 years away.
What do you have planned for, I mean, besides going full time with your other job, what do you have planned for afterwards?
Relaxing.
That's not a plan, Kevin.
That's my plan. A lot of sleep. No. Like I say, after I leave the fire department, my plan is to travel more, which I travel a lot now. So me and the wife talked about possibly getting a mobile home. Her sister and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they sit there and do a lot of traveling around in their mobile home. I won't do it as much as they do because I actually like leaving the country. So, but we'll do some of that, and that's about it. I mean, I really plan on just relaxing and maybe putting some more time into, a couple of my hobbies. That's about it. I don't plan on doing anything else in the fire service or anything like that. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a bad plan.
yeah.
So, and then how much longer till
Till I die?
What? No,
Oh.
till your kids are out of college.
Well, I mean, the way you slow rolled into it, I swear I thought you.
I just talk slow. I'm from Louisiana. I am tired of all you northern people getting on me about how slow I talk. Shut up, Chris.
So, let's see. My second oldest daughter has graduated already. My youngest daughter will graduate next year, and the boy, that's how we refer to him at the house, too. Everybody in our household refers to him. Not my brother, the boy.
Uh-huh.
Because thank God he blessed me with him the last time. So, but he's a sophomore this year up at UCM, and he'll be graduating in 2 more years. Yeah, 2 more years.
Unless he's on that extended plan.
No, he. Once again, by the grace of God, all my kids got my wife's intelligence. They got my bullshitness too, but they got my wife's intelligence. So they're all good.
What?
Wives.
No, yeah. So let's talk about some of your hobbies.
Oh, I make wine. I make because I started making the wine. You can also use the same things to make soda pop too. So I make wine and soda pop. I kind of do it. It started back. Oh man, I've been doing that for over 10 years now.
How did you get into that?
Watching something on TV, some show on TV, and I was like, I think I want to try that.
I could do that.
Yeah, I was like, I can do that. And
I mean, your mead was good.
yeah, and I was like, I think I could do that. And then I mentioned it to my wife, and just so happens that my wife, 2 of my daughters, and 2 of my nieces were there when I was talking about it. And for Christmas, they all together, they got me a wine making kit. That thing sat in my basement for a year and a half, not being touched. And one of my nieces was like, "Hey, where's this wine you're supposed to be making for us?" And I was like, yeah, I do need to do that. Rummaged through a bunch of stuff, found it, and started doing it. And then I was like, this is actually relaxing. Because I'm thinking about, my measurements and the temperature and everything that goes along with, making the wine. And it completely separated me from everything else, chaotic going on. So it was like, I wasn't thinking about the fire department. I wasn't thinking about, work that I had to do around the house or anything. And it's just something that I can just concentrate on and do. And then started experimenting, kind of like how I do when I cook. Start changing up the recipes and everything, and coming up with a lot of different concoctions. And then it got to the point to where it got cool coming up with like different labels for the wines. I mean,
So you went fully down the rabbit hole then.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, when he retires, he's going to buy a winery.
That's kind of what I was hinting at.
That may happen. At least enough land where I can,
You grow your own grapes.
Grow my own grapes and do a little something.
If I still drank, I'd fully support that. I still fully support it, but
You got the soda pop.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you.
oh. Non-alcoholic beer.
What was that? It used to be, was it Schaefer's?
O'Doul's?
O'Doul's.
Yeah, O'Doul's was kind of the big one there for a long time.
That was the only one for a long time.
Yeah.
I will tell you this.
I don't want to drink the flavor of beer.
No. Yeah.
And not have the effect.
Okay, so two uneducated palates. Okay.
Says the guy that buys a bottle of beer for $25. Or used to.
I used to.
Yeah, used to.
So
And I walk in with 2 cases for the same price.
yeah, but your beer. No, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone. So in recent years, and it started in Europe, I guess, the non-alcoholic beer transformation or whatever, it went like full craft. So like there's actually craft beer now that's non-alcoholic.
Really?
So you can get Guinness non-alcoholic, and it tastes just like Guinness.
Okay. All right. See, I've never been a fan of, like you say, a fan of the taste of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and especially not like, like the hoppy stuff.
Yeah. I get it.
But and people have asked me, so you going to make beer? And I was like, nope. Not.
Me and a buddy of mine years ago tried to do that. He got one of those homemaking beer kits.
Yeah, the brew kits. Yeah.
Did not turn out well.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? It's probably just not for me.
Yeah. I got a nephew and a sister-in-law in Michigan. He actually went to school to become a chef and become a master brewer. Because his deal is he wants to open up a
Gastropub.
I don't know what that is, but he wants to open up a restaurant / bar and brewery kind of thing.
That's called a gastropub.
Okay.
It's a fancy word for a restaurant that serves beer.
It's
that makes their own beer.
A brewery that
a
serves
brewery
food.
that serves food. That makes I kind of got to go that way.
That's all it is.
Okay. And I still
That's
stupid.
Stupid.
Hey, guess what? I don't even remember what he said it was right now. So, Gastropub. Gastropub. Yeah. Call me up tomorrow and ask me that.
Hey, what's a gastropub?
That
sounds like a fart.
Whatever, Keystone Light.
Dude, that was back before I had a decent job, a decent paying job.
Hey, Milwaukee's best.
That's right. Drink that too.
The beast. The beast.
Yeah.
I'm not above a natural light every now and then.
I never got into the natty light, but
if it was there, I drank it.
My next door neighbor, not next door, but my neighbor, they are big natty light fans, and I was like, okay, all right.
I mean, you know what? You like what you like, and to me, it doesn't matter. If you want to get the craft beers, get the craft beers. If you don't. If you're gonna drink what you want.
Give me a nice tequila or a good bourbon.
And there's a big difference in your tequilas too. I mean, you get a nice one,
dude.
Delicious.
You have no idea. You need to come over to the house.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, you were big into the whiskeys.
Yeah. No, and now it's
they were good.
Now it's the bourbons and the tequilas now. There's quite a few.
Got to be careful because they can get away from you real quick.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, yep, I'm calling for a ride. I'll come get my truck tomorrow.
Shoot, my next door neighbor doesn't even like coming over and drinking with us because my other neighbor, we'll get him in there and he'll stumble literally across the yard just trying to get to his house. So.
All right, I want to switch gears up here.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the lessons that you have learned on the fire service or on the fire department in the fire service?
One of the first ones, no matter how much time I got on, I can always learn something. There's always something I can still learn. Keep any pictures that you take. Those tend to help you out later on. And they're nice just to show up when people retire. Remember this? But honestly, seriously, document your career. And photographs are some of the ways you can do that. Now, I'm not talking about, don't be,
be choosy.
Don't be a idiot and a insensitive prick about stuff. Be, not taking pictures of, people's family members and stuff like that. And I don't post any of my pictures that I take. They are I've got a photo album that they go in.
So like pictures of your crew and
my crew, yeah. Like fun stuff we, would do around the station.
Mm-hmm.
And even after the fact, or like when you're pulling up to a house fire, snap a couple pictures of, just the big house, and then snap some pictures after, of the work that you did.
Yeah.
Car wreck, after you finish working and it's just the car, just take a picture of the car. There you go. Because, I'll bring my, couple, I got some younger guys at the my station. I'll bring a photo album in. They're talking about, dude, we don't get to see any, the stuff. I was like, or they'll have one and they'll talk about, how crazy it was and everything. And I was like, we'll go and talk about it and everything. It was like, did you take a picture? Now everybody's got cell phones. Back when I first got on, it was like I had the
Polaroid.
See,
I figured he was holding a little thing, had the powder in it, had the chest harness so he could hold.
Oh my God, he smiled in a photo. Is that legal?
at first it was those little disposable cameras, but then I got a digital camera and would take pictures like that. But like try to snap after I got dressed and everything. Try to snap a couple shots as we were pulling up. And what I would do is I would literally like toss it to the first end pumper driver. So after they get everything all charged up and good to go, and they got a little bit of a lull time, they a couple of them would take a picture or two for me, not of me, but just of
of the scene
yeah. And you get some cool stuff, like guys getting air packs changed out, and you can tell that you can see all the soot and everything on them. I've sent those pictures to guys, and dude, they were like so appreciative.
Yeah,
it was like thank you that we got that.
That's funny you say that, because I was just on Instagram. This guy who's in the Army was talking about that, of like he does like funny videos and stuff, but also like just advice for people coming in. Mm-hmm. And he was like, take pictures. He goes, I was terrible about it earlier in my career, and I still kind of am. He goes, but there are friends that I lost, and right. funny things that we did while we were deployed that I kind of have the memory of it, but I wish I had the pictures.
Right.
Right. So yeah,
kind of like I got a picture of somebody with a fire helmet on, in shorts, fire helmet on, with fire boots on a mini dirt bike, jumping a ramp over a little fire that we had, a little fire pit that we had. I am waiting for him to retire, because I am blowing that up and I am giving it to him as a gift.
That needs to be on the announcement that goes to every station.
Every station. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. He would appreciate that.
Oh, that's an epic picture.
Oh, yeah. Some of the other things, tell some of the, get down into the busier areas while you're young, because a lot of guys don't, a lot of guys try not to admit it, but this is a young man's job. And like, there's no way I could work in the inner city like how I did, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that, but the average age for firefighters in the United States has went up almost 4 years.
Really?
In the past few years, yeah. It's the average age is now 45.
See, that amazes me, because I know on our department, we got a lot of younger kids. A
lot of young and a lot of old. There's no in between.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's no in between.
Yeah.
That's what's scaring me. That in between is what you need.
Yeah.
That transitioning.
Yeah.
You need that transitioning. But try to get down, even if it's just, like trading time and working down, and get down there, get your face seen. Spot comes open. Hey, that kid you were trading time with, a couple times. You think he'd be interested in coming down? He worked out great down here with us. Get your name out there. What else? Learn everything you can. I was on the rescue for 9 years and do not regret anything that I did learning on that rescue. Now, would I go back now? No. once again, young man's job. I can't climb into a tube this big and turn around in it now. I can't even get into the tube now. But
How much of that stuff were you able to, because whenever you got promoted to driver and went from the rescue division back to a pumper, how much of that stuff were you able to bring with you as far as like techniques and things like that? Were you able to show and adapt?
90% of it. Yeah, 90%.
See, and that's what we talk about is when you leave a specialized division or when you leave, a different part of the city, because we've talked about that of everybody kind of does stuff a little bit differently, right? I mean, yeah, we all deploy hose and we all, pump and we all cut holes in roofs and all of that stuff. But everybody kind of does it just a little bit differently.
Right.
Because of body type or how they were trained to do it.
Well, yeah.
Whatever. Teach the people around you the way that you've been shown to do it, but be open to
other ways
learning.
As well.
Yeah.
Because like when I first came on, I pretty strong and everything. So I, smash, captain, older Italian captain, small guy, got me up on the roof and taught me. It was amazing. He's like, all right, you and me are going to cut a hole. We start cutting. I'm halfway through my hole and I'm like sweating and I'm like, I still finished the hole.
Yeah.
He was done with his hole and then started helping me with mine. I'm sitting here just, like leaning into the axe.
Yeah.
He's sitting here, small little chops, and his axe probably wasn't coming off the roof about that far. And he was just all the way around, popped the hole open, then came over and started helping me with mine. He sat there and goes, it doesn't matter how strong you are. Well, then he looked at one of my other classmates that looked like, Arnold Schwarzenegger on steroids. So, he looked at him. He's like, now with him, it's a different story.
Yeah.
He goes, but a shorter guys, you gotta,
there's technique involved.
Exactly. Then my first captain when I came out, same thing. Short guy, used to carry around a floor axe, but he was a little bitty dude. And the axe was named Bertha. Everybody knew about Bertha. He didn't swing it like it was a floor axe. He's the same thing. It just had a little bit more weight, so he didn't even have to go up as high.
Yeah, he let the tool do the work for him.
Yeah. So that's when stuff like that, learning, like how to conserve air. One of my captains was real big on that. We would literally sit out on the bay floor and would crack our bottle just enough to get air into the system and just see how long you could last with just that air that's in the system. And after a while, I was amazed at how long I could go with it. But also doing that, learned how to control my breathing for when I was like in a fire or something. Started noticing that a lot of the guys on my crew were not, coming out and switching out air bottles like everybody else was. Or if we go through a whole fire and then only be halfway through an air bottle.
Yep.
And it's just, you got to learn how to, like, I teach some of the guys at my station, a lot of times you'll work yourself up before you even get to the fire. You've already wore yourself out before you even get to that fire because you're all amped, your adrenaline's going, you're all amped up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you just got to learn how to just calm yourself down. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things I learned.
What about dealing with interpersonally, like station life?
We were taught, don't bring your feelings to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or if you do, keep it in your back pocket. Nowadays, dude, they bring their feelings to work with them, and then they put them on, then they project them out onto the wall. I know about, all kinds of problems. I'm like, different, it's a different department that way, but I had to learn how to deal with that. And it just got to the point where, I'm like, dude, don't let something that happened out here affect your job or your time here at the station. You're here for 24 hours. You can sit here and dwell on something that you don't have any control of because you are here working right now. Or you could relax, let this be your time to calm down and, let your brain relax on, on whatever has got you all in an uproar. Let this be the time that, you can calm down from that. I'm a strong believer in, like, if you come in with a bad attitude, that's going to affect your day, the whole 24 hours. I try to remind myself every chance I get, life is actually good. Just keep a good mindset. My ringtones on my phone, one of them is living your best life. I got another one, Three Birds from Bob Marley. Just those, those songs start playing and it's just like, everything's good. So try not to, if you're having, like some issues and stuff that aren't part of, your job that you're doing that day, talk to somebody about it. Like we'll notice like some of our guys will come in and you can tell something's not right. I'll walk right up to them. You doing all right? Yeah, I got this going on. All right. You want to talk about it? No, not right now. I was like, all right, well, you need to talk about it. Come find me. All right. Yeah, I got your back. Now, I may ask for a back rub afterwards, but I got to get something out of it. I'm not doing this for free. Oh. I am worried about you, but hey, I'm going to take advantage of the situation too.
Classic.
But you exactly. But you have to do that to. Yeah. You have to do that to brighten up the mood.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit there and let them know, hey, dude, there's laughable moments in this.
Yeah, and I think that's what we kind of, we sit here and talk about mental health a lot, and it's all very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. We talk about the dark humor, too,
mm-hmm.
of the fire department and all that stuff. But there is, like, sitting there and talking about what's going on and with somebody who you trust, a peer, and then being able to laugh and joke in the midst of that,
mm-hmm.
it's invaluable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We used to have what we call table time at one of the stations I used to work at. Every morning at shift change, we were coming in, the other crew was heading out. Well, these two crews, we actually got along, the two shifts actually got along real good, and we would literally sit down at the table and, they'd be drinking coffee and we would work out issues. right there at the table. And, like somebody's having, like one guy was having an issue with his daughter. A couple of the other guys had daughters that used to be that age. And it's amazing how much in common, situations can be.
Oh, yeah.
And would help, work issues out, like that. We sit there and just talk through stuff. And while we were talking through stuff, oh yeah, jokes got thrown. Don't think.
Oh yeah.
Don't think it was.
But that's such an important distinction, though, of having that to where people feel comfortable to sit there and do that.
Right.
Because if you don't have that comfort level, then it's not going to happen, and you're not going to get the benefit out of it. And you're going to continue to think, well, I'm the only one that's going through this because nobody wants to sit and talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't keep, you can't keep it all bottled in. And, a lot of guys will sit there and say, well, I don't want to bring it home, and, bring it home, bring my burdens home. It's like,
they're going with you anyway.
Oh yeah. They're coming with you. They're coming with you. Definitely. Now, you get some, there are some people that, this is their life. The fire department is their life. And I'm like, I love the fire department. And you guys are my brothers, and not much I won't do for you. And this part we might want to cut out. I'll even help you hide a body. So, delete that part. But
that's why he's still on my speed dial.
Don't ask questions. Just bring a shovel.
All right.
And your neighbor's truck.
I'm there. But yeah, you can't, there's things that, will happen on the job, and you just, you can't, how can I say it? You can't let it consume you.
Yeah, because it will.
Oh, yeah, it definitely will. Because every morning before I head out to work, every morning before I leave to start my shift, I sit there and tell my wife goodbye, sit there and kiss. I give, and then we sit there and pray together. And I'll sit there and, the prayer is, help us go out and, make a difference in other people's lives. Allow us to, allow us to make differences in other people's lives, and allow us to have differences made in our life, and to be, be safe and everything, just to be safe. But that is honestly my goal every day I go to work, is to make a difference in somebody's life. I'm not going to be able to save everybody, but I guarantee you, when that situation is happening, you are getting everything that I have. It's not going to be, well, I could have done this, I could have done that. I did everything I possibly could. It didn't turn out right this time. Or it did turn out right this time. I've had it happen both ways. But I'm not going to, I don't beat myself up, because I know I did everything I was capable of doing in that situation.
Well, I think that's a realization that people come to late sometime, of the not being able to save everybody.
You're right.
Because
but that's the thing that you, as seniors, you have to let these younger kids know it, put it out there on the table, so that they know that, okay, I can deal with it this way and not hold it all in. And like you say, and know that other people have the same issues.
Yeah.
So.
Nothing to say to that?
I agree with him. First, the department's or the job has changed, 100%. And I don't think it's a bad thing to be vulnerable in front of your crew. I think not only are you going to get the help you need to deal with the problem. You're going to be able to get your issues out, which is the first step. But you're also building that camaraderie. Mm-hmm. You're building trust right there. You're just at the table without doing any type of training or any type of fire department work. Mm-hmm. And it's going to make you a better person in the long run. Because I know I've changed since I came on. I know you have. I know I've seen a change in you since we met the first time, however long ago that was.
It was a while back.
You know what I mean? So you can see the people maturing
mm-hmm.
and becoming a better version of themselves. But you got to be vulnerable to do that, and that stigma of don't bring your feelings to the station has to go.
Yeah,
and that's fire service wide because it's still out there. I never agreed with it. I never liked it, but
I do somewhat agree with it.
Here's my issue with it, and what I've seen a lot of people talk about, is, whenever I go to the fire station, I'm firefighter Jeremy, and
mm-hmm.
when I go home, I'm at home Jeremy.
No,
Jeremy. That's called a split personality.
Yeah, you're Jeremy.
Yeah. So whether you want to or not, your home life is coming to the station. Your station life is coming to your house, and you have to figure out a way to
deal with
it and be the same person, and not necessarily the same person. It's this gray area of, we're at the station. We're going to talk how we talk to each other,
mm-hmm.
and when you go home, most of us are not going to talk to our spouse the way that we would talk to each other.
Not unless I want to get punched right in the face.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to adjust your behavior accordingly, but you can't. It's not realistic to expect to be a totally different person.
Right.
And to think that, okay, well, I'm just going to leave it all there and it's not going to follow me home.
No.
Because it does.
Yeah. And see that is one of my issues. I mean, one of my problems is because my wife will tell me all the time, the tone that I use. It never really crossed my mind that, the tone that I use was, would relay, certain feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you got guys at the station. Oh, yeah, Byrd used that tone. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about this tone?
Fuck you, there's no tone.
There's a tone right there. But, so, and that's one, like with my wife, is the tone. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do notice that tone because I'll have some of the guys at my station, they'll say some stuff, and I'm like, I don't say it, but the tone I use is, are you a fucking idiot?
You just use the bless your heart. It translates the same.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's one of those things. I don't know what the solution to that is, because I think that idea is going to keep kicking around until it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those people that believe it are gone, but.
Yeah. But like I said, there are some things that, we've discussed it at our station. I think it's the age of the people that we're getting. Was this your first job?
No.
Well, yeah.
Not by a long shot.
They're more than 40% of the job now. This is their first job. And that is an issue.
Yeah.
Because this job should not be the first time you are introduced into the workforce. Because this isn't a normal workforce.
We are completely abnormal in every single way.
Yes.
Well, this job requires a certain level of maturity.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, we do some very immature shit, but
never mind.
Shut up.
it does require a certain level of like life experience.
Yes.
And because you're put in situations that are, and not to sound like overly dramatic, but are life and death.
Yes.
And you have to remain calm in those positions. And if this is your first job, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there are people that can do it. I know 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. I know.
This is their very first job. They just got out of high school, and they're great.
Yeah. But they
are the exception.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, like, I mean, like you say, the experience, the maturity of it, because you got, I mean, out of that 40-something%, I'm sure that I would be willing to say more than 50% of that 40, they're still living at home.
Yeah.
I wish I could live at home.
Dude.
I'd have so much money. I'd have a pool.
But that brings up another thing, and kind of back to my question about the whole station life thing is whenever you have those individuals that have come into the fire service and they're thrown into, they still live at home or whatever, and they're thrown into living at a station with 4, 5, 6, 10 other
brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Or sisters.
Yeah. That's a huge learning curve.
Yes, it is.
And it doesn't go well sometimes.
Right.
Have you ever got the new person who doesn't know how to use a broom or a mop?
Yes.
That fucked me up the first. I was like, seriously?
Dude, I always thought it was funny because I got to say it, because Colonel would get on people for mopping a whole floor with a mop that was only dipped in the bucket once.
Yep.
And it was like, actually, you got a damn point there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this floor, that mop should hit that water and get strained out at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And it may hit it twice through the whole thing.
Yeah. Or not rinsing the mop out afterwards.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, and like you say, or mopping or washing dishes.
Yeah.
Cleaning the toilets.
Cleaning the toilets. And now you got, people are afraid to say something to people because, you're getting, you got to go down to HR. You hurt somebody's feeling.
Yeah.
Hence the reason you guys are in the positions you're in, and I'm not, because I can't keep my mouth shut.
Kevin, you're
6
doing
more years. 6 more years.
Yeah, you're doing the department a disservice by not being promoted to captain.
Hey, man.
Yes.
I can say
fully agree with that.
I can say stuff now that I can't say in those positions.
You're 100% correct.
That
'Cause
I can say stuff that it would be like, all right, you hurt my feelings, all right, sorry, but the truth hurts. But I can say it that way, and if you got a real big problem about it, it might end up a different way. But in a captain or chief role, I'm going to court. I would need a lawyer on speed dial if I would have got promoted captain. That was why I stopped even trying, because I was like, I know some idiots that got promoted by accident. And I was like, that would be my luck.
He's talking about us.
Probably.
Actually, no.
I'm okay with it.
I watched you two study. No, there's a couple that it was definitely seniority points. Mm-hmm. But
I totally got promoted by accident. At the bottom of the barrel.
I know.
It's crazy.
Hey, what's the guy who graduates last out of medical school? What do they call him? Doctor.
Exactly. But
I'll take it.
But yeah, so it's and I know what my role is. I'm that between
You're
guy.
the buffer.
I'm that buffer. I'm there to make you not have to do your job. But I'm also there to make these guys know that you've got their back.
Well,
But if they're doing something stupid, I can call them out on it. You do it, you're discriminating against them. So,
I think
not discriminating, but
it depends on your approach, but sometimes the approach that needs to be taken.
Again, some of these kids are still living at home.
Yeah.
And their parents aren't like our parents where
You took an ass whooping.
What were you and my buddy? What was the key that you and Sass had? I sit there and point at you, and you would finish.
Oh, I'd say fuck.
Yeah. instead of fuck, it's fuck them.
Yeah.
So when I go like this,
Fuck them.
but
No, and I'll tell you, some I've seen is they don't know how to take criticism at all. Like, or not even criticism, just
it's
a
personal.
correction, just a small correction. Hey, this is kind of how we all do things.
They take it as a personal attack.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, this is just how we do.
I've seen it. I've seen it less now, like doing dishes. I don't mind doing dishes, but I've been beat up 17 times since I got promoted to do dishes. I was like, I just want to wash a plate, man.
Dude,
Next thing I know, I took a flying elbow.
I've learned where that floating rib is. I've learned how to get low.
Oh no,
You
they
shouldn't be doing dishes either.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
But
they gang up on you, man.
I cook, and they'll come in and ask, Byrd, you need anything? No. Byrd, you need any help? No. Dude, why we ask you if you need help? Why don't you want us to help? Because once I'm finished, I'm gonna sit around and do nothing while you guys clean up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think too. So I think you're one of these guys that when you cook, that's kind of your thing.
Yeah.
So let me do my thing my way, because I've got a certain way of doing things.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Now, if you need something chopped, that's fine.
Or if you want to learn how to cook, I mean, I've got several guys that they'll come in and ask me questions while I'm cooking, and I was like, all right, well, this is how this is why I'm doing this. Or if I sit there and ask me, hey, will you chop this up? And then I watch them chop an onion, and I'm like, stop. All right, let me show you how to chop an onion, kind of thing. But I do it knowing that I'm teaching, and first of all, I don't want them cutting a finger off, but also still teaching them something that they are going to use later on in their career. I've passed so many recipes down, and I have no problems with giving somebody, their attaboys for a recipe that I have. I've got a big book, and each recipe that I got from somebody else has that person's name on it. And I'll sit there and tell somebody. They're like, where'd you learn how to cook this? And I was like, this person, so-and-so, sit there, this is so-and-so's recipe. And just stuff like that. But you can tell that, and I've seen it with my kids, their friends. It's like they come to the house and like, can I have a glass of water? Yeah, glasses are right there, sinks over there. You have any bottled water? No. Dude, this was years back, but I thought I had told a kid that there was no such thing as Santa Claus to look on his face when I told him to get a drink of water from the water hose.
I still drink from the water hose. In fact, I did today. I mowed the yard.
But then, the fact that you got to teach them, hey, you got to let it run for a minute.
Yeah, or else it's going to be hot.
Get the hot water out of it. It's hot. I was like, you didn't let it run for. And then I just look at my kids, and I was like, these are your friends.
Stop bringing idiots to my house.
And now the scary part about it is some of their friends are actually on the department with me. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. But the maturity, once they start, the maturity, it is a maturity thing. You have to learn these things.
But it's also us as a senior people, and we're in that group now too. You got to teach them.
Fuck you.
Oh,
Chris.
yes.
You got to teach, but they got to be willing to learn.
That is true.
That's the thing. You can't force someone to learn,
Right.
no matter how much training we do.
Right.
Which goes back to you got to learn how to communicate with them. Because that's the key.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about, like, you can force somebody to train. I mean, we can go out and drill and train. You can teach them the fireside. That part is going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's the personal interactions at the station that are probably the most concerning.
Yeah.
To me, anyway.
The most concerning ones to me are the interactions with the public.
Yeah.
Because if they've been running their nuts off all day, and they're like, another call, and I'm like, hey, we're getting paid. This is our job.
Yeah.
This is what you signed up for. You know, lose the attitude, because that attitude will make a situation a lot worse. They call me they call me the crackhead whisperer. Because we can have somebody that is just straight losing their shit, and I'll walk in and start talking to them and just have them calm down. Like, I literally had one guy, he got yanked out of his truck by the police because he didn't want to come out, but you could tell there's something going on with him. They get him onto the cot, and I come over and I start talking to the dude, and I literally just reach out and just grab his hand. Hey, dude, you're all right. We got you. You need to calm down. Let them take your blood pressure. Relax your arm. Here, I'll keep a hold of your hand, dude. You got it. And just kept talking to him. I ended up having to get into the ambulance and rode all the way down to north to the hospital.
Yeah.
Just holding on because
To keep him calm. Yeah.
And it's not the first time it's ever happened, so that's how I got that nickname. The guys at my station, that's what they call me now. They were like, Byrd, we need some whispering. And
You got to have one of those guys. I've tapped somebody at me. Hey, you're up. You're up.
But I've seen situations where there's been like mobs of people, and just the way the guys were interacting with them, you're not making this situation any better. And I would step in and go, hey, we understand that this is your family member. We're doing everything we can. Okay? But we need a little bit of space, and, just talk to them calm, explain to them what's going on. And the other trick is, let's get this stuff done. Let's get loaded and let's go.
Yeah. Don't spend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quit sitting there. I'm going to sit there and poke your finger now. Just, all right, you're going to feel a poke. Quit, giving the cliff notes.
Yeah. Not the play-by-play.
Not the play. Yeah.
Don't need color commentary.
Exactly. And, it's just, yes, you are up at 3:00 in the morning. Yeah, you are turning the water off to their house because a pipe busted. We're not the water department. We're not plumbers. But we still get called out in the middle of the night if there's a water break, and it's because somebody doesn't know how to turn their water off.
Yeah, we need to start. I think we should play the clip for all the new people from Roadhouse.
Oh,
the Be Nice clip.
Be Nice clip. Yeah. Be nice until
I'm the bouncer, you're the cooler.
Yeah.
No, I'm the cooler, you're the bouncer.
Yeah.
Or my bad.
Way to fuck that up.
We
had a good thing going, and
it's been a while.
you were my boomy buff, and how do you mess up Roadhouse?
There's so many movies going on in my head.
Yeah,
God damn, Day. Don't let me go Killer Joe on you.
How are you gonna let him do that to a pimp?
You got to see the name for my new Survivor League football team. A pimp named Slickback. Not Mr. Slickback. Say it with me. A pimp named Slickback.
So, like you talk about guys getting an attitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the station, in the rig, on the way there, I'm cool with it. Get it out. Get it out. Don't keep that in because you're going to still be angry. Get it out. And then when we get off the rig, be nice. We're not going to say nothing. We're not going to start a fight. We're going to walk in. We're going to do our jobs like the professionals that we are.
Don't care what stupid stuff is going on.
Don't care. We're here to fix it.
Yeah.
Or we're here to help.
Yeah.
So if you got something bad to say,
that's not helping.
say it now while we're in the rig.
Right.
And I'm okay with it. Then now we're here. Let's go to work. And I haven't had that issue of people having an attitude on scene. But that's also from my experience, where I can't, if it sits there and I don't say nothing, it festers. Eventually, my filter's gonna fail. And something's gonna come out.
Right.
And I'm gonna regret it. And I've lost that call.
Yeah.
So,
and I've brought this up to my guys. How are you letting somebody you haven't even met yet control how you're feeling?
I don't think it's the patient or the person.
Well, it's the
problem.
call.
I think it's the volume.
Yeah.
And they're tired. You're tired, and let's be honest. It takes mental strength and energy to not lose your shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes, whether anybody wants to agree with me or not, it's fine. Sometimes you fail, and shit comes out.
Nobody's
perfect. You've hit your limit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My bad.
I forgot who we were sitting here with.
My bad.
So I think that's where it comes from. Is you're mentally and
you're mentally
exhausted, and you can't keep it in anymore, and it comes out. And I'd rather have it come out in the rig with us because we have that understanding of what's going on, than to have it come out with the public. And
you're saying get it out before
get it out now.
Right.
You can yell at me on the way, and you can voice your frustrations.
Right.
I probably agree with you. But once we get there and we open that door, now we go into who we are, and we're back to us.
Yeah.
You're being nice. You're treating your patient the way they need to be treated, or shutting off the water. And then let's educate them. Like, hey, where's your water shut off? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's go find it.
Yeah.
We're going to come with us.
I've done that I don't know how many times.
Like, this is your main water line. This is your sewer line. This is how you turn your furnace off.
Yeah.
Or whatever it needs to be.
Right.
Or you run I smell CO. Okay, no, you don't.
You can't smell CO.
No, you don't.
You have a dry sewer drain. And yeah. You got it. Yeah.
Or
and some people don't.
Things.
Yeah, and some people don't.
Or you have a smoke detector from 1999.
Yeah.
I can't figure out why
it used to be white. It's yellow now.
This one was actually still white. I was impressed.
Really?
Yeah. It's very clean home.
That's good.
But I pulled that thing off. This was the last day. I pulled that thing off and looked at it, and I went, yeah, no.
You telling me you were 9 years old when this thing was built?
Actually, I was a freshman in college whenever this was built. So
it was 99.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's impressive. That is impressive. But yeah, and I understand, especially, these guys that are on the ambulances and stuff, and they get it handed to them. But I'm like, once again, they're paying you to do this job. You knew what this, job entailed.
Do you think it's a generational thing?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Let me finish.
Yeah, my bad.
Can I finish?
Yes, sir.
Can I finish?
Yes, sir.
Nah, the graphs and the charts and the... Do you think we would have had the same problem if, like, say, with our department, we took over the ambulance, what was it, 15 years ago now?
Yeah.
Something like that.
14, 15.
If we would have done that, let's say if we'd had the ambulance whenever we came on, like, do you think we would have been complaining about the same stuff?
Yes. I don't think we would have been complaining the way they are. But I think the frustration would have been there. and I think it would have been sent up the chain of command. Because see that there's the difference. The newer generation don't follow that chain of command very well.
No.
You will know what chief I am talking about. He wouldn't even talk to you. If you answered the phone, he'd sit there and go put the captain on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was every chief whenever I came on.
Well, that is true. And
you couldn't walk, you couldn't ask for a V-Day, you couldn't do anything. You had to go to your captain.
Yeah.
Which is, if when you have that problem, to me, it's not looking at the younger generation. Because those rules are in place.
Yeah,
they're not being enforced.
They're not being enforced. There it is.
It's leadership.
It's
us.
And it's that same mentality of like raising kids. You know, you're trying to be their friend.
Yeah.
Okay, we can be cool,
but they also see things like, how many chiefs are you friends with right now? A lot.
Quite a few.
Yeah, same. We've known them.
Yeah.
How long? So it's not hard.
Firefighters together. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not hard to walk in and, hey, what's going on? How you doing? You check on this for me, and just a regular conversation.
But I've explained that.
But it's what it's seen.
It
goes back to that. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
You explain it to your crew,
right?
But the crew that's just stopped by the station because you're in a chief's house, they see you doing that,
right?
And the rules for a chief's house have always been a little bit different.
Yeah. But I also, around other people in the chief's house, I treat I'm not gonna sit there and say something that I would normally say if it was just me and him sitting there joking together. But I will, I'm making it aware that, hey, I know he's my chief.
Yeah.
And
like you're going to address him as chief.
Chief, yeah. I'm not calling him by his first name.
Yeah. Now, one-on-one's different. I'm not talking one-on-one.
Right. But and I'm talking about at the station, even like this morning when I left. My chief sat there and said, "Hey, Byrd, I'll see you later." I was like, "All right, chief, I'll see you later."
Yep.
Is exactly how I said it. Now, if we were, like if we're in the same neighborhood, so if I drove by and I was like, "Hey," I would say his name. I'm not saying, "Hey, chief."
Yeah.
But around the guys and everything, that's chief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He went through and did everything he was supposed to do to earn that white shirt. You guys went through and did everything you were supposed to do to earn those light blue shirts. I'm not going to sit there and downplay you unless you're just an idiot. Now, there are a couple of those that...
Well, I think we got to teach that difference, too, of when we're joking around
mm-hmm.
and when we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to have that conversation. Like, when we're at the station, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you have a question about a call, ask me. I'll explain why I did what I did or made a decision that I made. I have no problem. But when we're on that scene, it's a dictatorship at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now,
if you see something, say something. And if I ask you for then we can talk about an idea.
Right.
But if I've made a decision, I've given an order, that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Unless it's unsafe. That's a different ballgame. But you got to have that conversation with people. And I might not be right. And we can talk about it when we get back.
Right.
Like, hey, man, you made this call. This is what I saw. What'd you see? There's a way to go about it.
Right. But yeah, we're not going to sit there and get into a yelling match out in front of everybody, after a fire scene. No.
Not the time or the place.
Yeah. No, exactly. But like he was, like you were just, saying too, I'm not going to go and like ask for a V-Day. Go straight up to the chief. Hey, chief, I need to talk to you about a V-Day. That's not the way it goes. You sit there and go, if you're a firefighter, you go to your driver, and your driver tells your captain, and your captain goes and gets that, checks on that V-Day for you.
Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to work. You get some of these guys now, they're calling up. Next day, I'm like, all right, such and such is not here. Hey, where you at? Oh, I got a V-Day last day. thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the classic trading time and not telling
And
anybody.
not telling anybody. And that's when you start. It's a teaching moment. What happens if this guy sits up there and gets hurt? We don't have the paperwork to show that he was trading time with you.
Yeah. Dude, it's a constant battle. It is. And
But you got to enforce the rules as the quote unquote leader of the company.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, and that's part of the issue
So-
though, is we do not teach captains how to be leaders.
Yeah.
I see drivers as the leader, the NCO,
Well, they are.
essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about that. We've talked about how, there's a senior firefighter position for a reason.
Yes.
He's supposed to keep the other two idiots in line. And if that person can't do it, then the driver.
Yep.
That's your next level
There
of
it is.
leadership.
Yes. Yes.
Because you don't want to go into the captain.
Right.
Because now the captain has to. There's things that has to be done now, and
Yes.
you force their hand.
Yes.
It's not that they want to do it, but if they don't do it now, they're in trouble.
Exactly.
So you've got to run it up now.
Yep. Yep. And then, you're all buddy-buddy with the chief, and all of a sudden you brought the chief into it. Oh, it's definitely going up
Yeah.
now. Because he can't. Oh.
Nope.
Not supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And now everything's done by email, so there's a record.
Yeah. Well, like I said, our guys, we've got it, they know who the senior firefighter is. The senior firefighter knows what's expected of him. And that's the thing I like about my captain. When I got there, he told me what he was expecting of me, and I told him before he told me what he was expecting of me, I explained to him what I thought my position, what my position was. And once again, basic, simple part of it is my job is to make you not have to do your job.
yeah.
And he explained to me what, he expected of me, and I was like, that all of that falls right in line to what, what I was always taught that a driver's supposed to do. My senior firefighter, I set him down, told him what me and the captain expected of him. He had his conversation with the captain, but I also had a conversation with him and told him, what was expected of him. When he left, next senior guy in line, brought him, was like, hey, this is what you need to step up and start doing. You are now you're now the senior firefighter. This is what you need to do. You need to be one of the first ones. Hey guys, come on, let's get the bathrooms clean.
Yeah.
We're here. Hey, you walk in the door. Let's get your gear on the rig.
Yeah. Be the example.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And because I'll sit there and tell them, this is all the things you guys need to be doing. Like you say, the gear, get your gear on the rig. We catch a fire. You go, hold on, I got to get my stuff. You getting left.
Yep.
Yep.
I've literally threatened to leave a captain before.
Don't look at me.
No.
My stuff gets put on the rig right when I walk in the door.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, we're 2 hours in. You're just now. They're like, we catch a fire.
Yeah, you're going to be walking.
I'm going to take that. I'm taking one when I get back. I understand. But
Yeah. Nobody's exempt.
you will never do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not working with you. Well, but that goes back to that whole being a leader and setting the example.
Mm-hmm.
What example do you want to set for the firefighters that you're responsible for?
Right.
And show up early.
Show up if you're there at 7:00, you're late. We have the 6:30 rule for a reason, the informal 6:30 rule.
Well,
show up, be an example.
That's amazing because now it's 6:30.
See, I'm still a 6 o'clock guy.
It was.
Yeah.
It used to be 6 o'clock. Well, my problem is that, the guy I'm relieving doesn't wake up until like,
9.
That is what it is, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I'm not. When for me, yeah, I'm here to relieve whoever, but being there at 6 is for me. Because if I've forgotten something, or if my gear's not right.
See, I was always told 6:30, but I always showed up at 6.
Yeah,
because I want to be.
I was always told 6 and would show up like a
6:45.
6:45.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry, 5:45.
No, you're right.
Damn, you caught me.
Got him.
You caught me. My mouth is open.
Well, that's like, if you're always there at 6 and you're not there at 6:30, you're getting a phone call, and you got time to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
there's
somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, man, I'll hold for him.
Right,
he's running behind, not a problem.
Right,
because he leaves me at 6 a.m. every shift."
Dude, my captain, one of the first things he does is he set up a
call tree.
Call tree, but it's a text. Mm-hmm. It's a mass. Everybody that's at our station is on that text. And then we've got one to everybody on our crew. And so, like, if somebody is working overtime, they sit there and just, shoot a text.
Yeah.
And everybody knows, hey, this guy is at 8s. And he's working, he's working overtime. He's waiting on his relief. And so we all know. So it's not like no big, and that happens, right around 6:30 when we don't start seeing people.
Yeah. I always have used I text the day before. Mm-hmm. If I'm working overtime, and be like, hey, I'm working here, or this is where I'm coming from in the morning. Right. So, now I just have to text the chief and
right,
because I'm driving.
So I'm just a floater. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm just all willy nilly.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for that phone call as you're driving.
Yeah.
Where do I need to go?
And usually I know the shift before.
Right.
Which I love. Makes it easier, but.
Oh yeah, that is where you can just go straight to the
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Unfortunately, there's
so many. People call off and.
Mm-hmm. I've been
cancel
V days.
No, cancel overtime. That's the one that's still.
Oh, we'll talk about that after
that's a whole different conversation.
After we turn the camera off, we can talk about that and the battles.
But I've been already going or been there to wherever I'm supposed to be. I get a phone call. Hey, we need you over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, you got to be flexible as a floater.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of is what it is. There's been, whenever I was floating, days that I would start at one station, go to another one, and then be at another one.
Yeah.
It just, that's the way that it happened because
that's the nature of the position.
Yeah.
You get promoted.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And guys, will start complaining about, well, why didn't they do this? It's like, well, because.
When you actually start doing the staffing,
it's
a whole different ballgame. Yeah. You're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I was a dick. I'm sorry, Chief.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you start learning it.
Exactly. Once you start learning that stuff, I
thought I was bald before. I'm more bald now.
I got asked, you want to sit in here and do this? Nope. I've literally stood at this door and watched this whole thing happen for the last several years. Mm-hmm. Nope.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's not just what's going on in your district.
No.
It's a citywide thing.
And then, like you say, you think you've got it taken care of, because you know how when they start doing the pre-hire, you think you got it taken care of. Then all of a sudden, I had a long night last night. Mm-hmm. I can't work. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep that thought. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Or you're all upset because this is your 4th day. I'm like, you decided.
That's a you decision.
Yeah, that's you. Why are you upset with everybody else? Because
not taking responsibility for their actions.
Yeah, I can't do the 5, 6, 7 days in a row anymore.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I try to average, well, since I found out about the whole shoulder thing, I've been trying to average 2 a week. It used to be I was trying to average 2 a pay period.
That's about all I can get.
Really? Still.
So, yeah, we talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
It's different for rank. So, what?
Once again, you took that test.
Yeah, I did.
Sucker.
Hey, man, you know what? It was one of those things where I wanted to, number one,
Be in charge.
Be in charge because I like I like power, and I have so much now. Just control everything. You have no idea. And it's intoxicating.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. No, I just, and it's not for everybody. So don't take it that way. But for me, like, I wanted to improve myself. I wanted to improve my knowledge. I felt like I had knowledge to share that would be beneficial in that position. Improving my pension. So my future for once this job is over with. And then, maybe another promotion after that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my reasoning behind the whole getting promoted.
And I definitely understand that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I take my hat off to both of you. I would take my hat off, but I had to take the headphones off and everything.
It's too much of a production. I get it. Yeah.
But I do take my hat off to you guys, for the time and effort you put in, because I remember you guys studying and everything. Yeah, I remember the time that you did put in. And it just, for me, myself, I've got a good job once I retire from here that I'll go full time to, and I'll have the benefits and everything from that. So that, like a lot of guys are worried about, that amount that they have to spend for insurance and everything. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to, I've got, like I say, I'll be making over $40-something an hour when I go full time. So I got that luxury. So with the pension, with my pension and everything being more, it's not really something I got to worry about. Yeah. So that luxury, that was my luxury there. And I just, again, situations that happened with friends of mine that were captains. Sorry, I looked away from the mic. Situations that happened that with friends of mine that were captains, and seeing what they did and thought they did the right thing, but saw why it turned out the way it did, was like, that's no. And once again, I would need a lawyer on speed dial. And then you have the mental part of it, where when my daughter sat there and asked me when was the captain's test going to be over, because I get cranky when I was studying. She said I was cranky when I studied for the captain's test. That was when I sat there and I shut that book right then and was like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that was my situation.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Right. And it is what it is. And
I honestly believe that I can do more in the position that I'm in now than I can in a higher position, because I still have. I don't have to elevate.
You can speak freely.
I can speak freely, but I also don't have to separate myself from the guys because of the position that I'm in.
Yeah.
And which I understand that it has to be done in those higher positions.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I had some stuff go on, and I had to sit down, and I'm friends with this firefighter.
Right.
And there's some fuck games and all this stuff, and we had to sit down and have a conversation of, hey man, look, I get it. And it's a weird, I'm not your captain. I'm the DSO and we're friends, but like we can't do that. Like, because if you do your practical joke and then I do mine, if I go too far with mine, then like I'm in a position where
Chris, do you smell chicken?
A little bit.
You can't.
Right.
You can't do that stuff.
Right.
Like, you can't just be.
Yeah. The line's been moved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't be one of the fellas,
Yeah.
playing fuck games all the time, because the rules are different for you now.
Right. And and I never thought about it with my friends that are captains, but my friends that I didn't think about it for a long period of time with my friends that were captains. But my friends that were chiefs, it was like an immediate, I thought about it.
Yeah.
And I understood. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, the captains are in the same position.
Mm-hmm.
And I started treating that position a lot differently once I really started thinking about it.
What goes back to that whole, that person got promoted and they changed. And it's not necessarily the position that changed them for most people. It's the rules changed.
Well, that and yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There are some that they went right to their head.
Yes.
Again, a power-hungry megalomaniac.
I wasn't even thinking about you. That's the funny part about that one.
That's because you don't work with them on a regular basis.
I wasn't even thinking about you. But I was thinking about somebody else we know. But yeah, it's they have to.
You have to change when you get promoted.
Yeah.
Because the same shit that you did the day before isn't going to fly.
No.
Yeah.
When you have rank.
Like the shirt we have, the Fun Police shirt that the guys had made up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the Fun Police. I don't want to be the guy saying, hey, don't do that. Because guess what? 2 years ago, I was the guy doing that.
Yeah. And
you
you don't hang out.
funny.
You don't hang.
It's hilarious.
Here's the one I love. You don't hang out. Hang out with us anymore. You have to remove yourself from a situation, because if you see it,
I gotta say something.
You gotta say something about it. Yeah. And it's like, some of them were like, oh no, dude, you just changed. I was like, no.
Here's our policies and procedures. Mm-hmm. This is what I have to do.
Yeah.
It's not what I want to do. It's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Had to walk away from many a conversation.
Oh yeah. And nowadays,
but you want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Nowadays, you definitely have to, because people are, well, they said this on this day. Well, who all was around them? This person. You're all coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how the heck? I just walked through the room. You were there. Did you hear them say it? Yeah, but I was walking through when they said it. And you didn't say anything. There it is. And once again, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's all black and white. And there's no gray area.
Exactly.
Because you don't know the context of the conversation.
Exactly.
Context doesn't matter anymore. You know that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Man, life is not black and white. It's just gray. Everything's a gray area.
Fuchsia. I like the.
You like fuchsia?
I like the word fuchsia.
You just wanted to say fuchsia.
I just wanted to say fuchsia.
I think that's the first time it's been said on the podcast.
I was going to say, I want to listen back on this. I want to watch back on this and just wait until. Here, well, hold on, wait for it. Here it comes.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've been going for an hour and 49 minutes almost.
2 hours.
I still got to eat.
Yeah, he still got to eat.
Fat guy's getting hungry.
Fat guy who's supposed to be getting less fat, but I haven't seen him work out in like a month, so.
I still work out, just not with him.
Oh, okay.
I got my own stuff.
TV remote doesn't count.
No, it's a PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh, okay.
They're heavier than the PlayStation
Yeah.
4 controller, so it's, I mean...
And it's a lot of button pushing.
I thought you were about to say the Wii. I was like, you're lying.
I don't have a Wii anymore. I used to.
Yeah. Dude, I've got the Oculus now. That
Thing's dangerous.
Oh, dude, I have so much fun with that. It's like...
It's the building jump.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The day we did it at the station, that was a lot of fun.
Dude, one of the Chiefs brought his in, and I put it on, and he was like, I'm walking on the balance beam, and he's like, just stepped off the balance beam. I stepped off, and they were videoing me while I was doing it, and I'm like, I'm freaking out, flat-footed on the ground, freaking out, watching myself fall.
There is a place you can go down in the market.
Yes.
That I've been down there. It's VR. Fantastic.
Dude, we got to get together and do that because
Yeah.
I've seen that, and I was like, where you can do the zombie stuff and all.
There's the one that we played two of them because we were down there for
They
a
hook
function.
the balls and stuff up to you.
So this one, the way that we had it was just the headset, and you had the two controllers, but it's like a headset that's attached to like this fucking rig, so it keeps you from walking too far and like into people, right? But so we played this, like, not really Call of Duty, but it's kind of like that. But then all this, like, I think it was called Elven Archer or something like that, where you're on these towers and you're shooting all these monsters that are coming to you with this, like, you got to draw back you're shooting a bow and arrow and stuff. Dude, you want to talk about a fucking workout?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, dude,
like
there's
fun.
another one.
It was awesome.
There's another one. It's down by the crossroad. It's in the Crossroads district, and they actually have, like, everywhere you have a joint. Not that kind of.
I got really excited for a second.
So they will put a ball. I mean, this bracelet that goes right here, and it has a sensor ball on it. They put one here. They put one on your knees and your ankles, and then on your shoulders, and then you have your VR set, and then you have your hands, where it tracks, like, you could literally kick something.
Oh, I'm so in. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to Ready Player One.
Dude, I watched that yesterday.
Great movie.
Oh, dude,
I watch it all the time.
Every chance I get, I was like, I'll sit there and just go through and fast forward through my favorite parts and everything.
I'll watch the entire thing every time because the whole movie's great.
I don't know that I've ever sat and actually watched that thing all the way through.
Bro.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I get it, but it's just...
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Okay.
Watch the movie.
Easy there.
And then you watch Willy's Wonderland.
No. I knew you were going to bring up fucking Nicolas Cage again.
Willy's Wonderland is crazy.
Was awesome.
But I'm sorry. Killer Joe is still...
Yeah.
I will never eat Kentucky Fried Chicken the same way again.
Was that Matthew McConaughey movie?
Yes.
I never watched that one.
Oh, you've got to. You've got to.
What's it on, Netflix or Hulu or something?
I couldn't even tell you where to find it now, but you have to watch it.
Okay. Since you give the recommendation, I'll give it a try.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Be calling you up at 2 a.m. I thought we were friends.
Dude, it literally, and stop me if I'm wrong, it's a train wreck you can't turn away from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it better than Night of the Chicken Dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, dude. No. Yes, it is.
I think anything's better than that movie.
Oh, that movie was awful.
Hell, dude.
It was so much fun.
Cocaine
to watch.
Bear was better.
I haven't seen that yet.
Haven't seen that one yet, but I want to. Oh my god!
It is funny.
The guys were talking about that the other day at the station.
It is funny.
They were talking about how it was like right there, and it just didn't quite go over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It had so much potential.
Yep.
I was working overtime at a station the other day, and I came out of my office, walked into the kitchen, and Backdraft was on the TV. And it was paused.
Somebody stopped it.
I was like, what the fuck? He's like, well, this guy's never seen it. And I was like, well, where's that guy? Oh, he's downstairs working out. Take this off the damn TV. Come on, man.
Yeah, really? I'm sorry. The only thing
That's
that's
a
ever...
great movie, too. Like, you guys both know it's
What?
a great movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
How many times have you quoted that movie in your career?
The only time I've quoted it is when somebody, and if he's going to watch this, I'm sorry, but when he was on the poster and he was sitting there going like this.
And we all know who that is.
Yes.
I don't think he watches these.
No.
I might send it to him, though.
Yeah.
So he's never lived that down.
No.
The artfully
Yes.
done soot on his face.
Oh, man.
Wow.
When it drove by me on a bus, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah. That is reason enough not to be involved in promotional materials.
Yes.
Just
How
for
long
that.
ago? That's
I
gotta-
still...
How long ago was that?
I have one of those posters just because he was on it.
Well, that was 15 years ago, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh,
Never gonna live that down. That'll be
No.
his retirement party.
oh yeah.
It's the only picture you need.
That's it. I've got more, but that's the only
you
one.
don't need them. That's
No.
the thing.
No. Yeah, that.
And the
I'm sorry.
concerned
He's
look.
looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Oh, love it.
I don't know. I think we could have a whole episode. We talked about that whenever Jim was here too, about doing just a movie episode.
Oh, it's very easy.
I'm in.
Yeah, I think we'll have you back, and we'll do a little prep work on it with the movies that we want to.
So we're all gonna
Yeah.
come over here and eat popcorn
And watch a movie.
and watch movies.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Or we can just sit there and come up with a list of movies and we all watch them and then come back.
That's
and
no
talk.
fun. I'm trying to do some bonding thing here, man. You know you miss hanging out. We'll go to Bird's house. Screw it.
Come on. I'm not afraid. Don't be scared.
He's probably got a better movie set up than I do.
Man, it is kind of good.
Yeah.
I will say, I like this.
Oh, well, thank you.
This was because every time I watch an episode, I'm like, all right, where is this at in his house? How is it all set up? And
It's in the secret room.
yeah, I'm like, I like this. I don't understand why half of the ceiling is.
Man, just leave it. Just leave it. We'll talk about that later. That's an ongoing project of I got to figure some stuff out in here
And
still.
where is the technical guy still on sabbatical,
Yes.
walking around posting videos,
Yes, he's actually
hanging off the side of mountains?
Yes. I had a conversation with him the other day
Okay.
to have another conversation. So,
Having a meeting about the meeting about the meeting.
yep. TPS reports.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's why I got promoted. Because that's my guy right there.
That's why I didn't.
Well, Kevin, thanks for coming.
Of course, buddy.
Doing the show. I appreciate it, man.
I do apologize about it taking so long.
Oh, don't even worry about it, man.
Because I remember when you first started talking about this, and I was like, I'll do it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that it's one of those things, man. It's scheduling is a pain in the ass.
I will let you know, though, the fear, when you sent me the link to the, was it 123rd episode, where I had 3 people here that knew me very well. I was like, the whole time I was watching that, I was like, if my name comes up once, I swear to God, I'm coming after all 3 of them.
We try very hard not to do that.
Yeah, but because I ended up calling him after I finished watching that, and I was like, dude, we got to get together. We haven't hung out in a while. And so I think this weekend we're going to pop open some good bourbon and smoke some cigars.
Nice. Yeah, I know that was the plan for after we were done with the podcast, but it's 107 degrees outside.
Yeah. Well, he's got his deck has a nice big fan on it and everything, and he might not have mentioned this, but he is very good with wood.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, he
we talked about that.
He made a lot of the furniture that's out on his deck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a gentleman of many trades.
He seemed like it. He's very well-rounded.
Yes.
Almost a Renaissance man, if you will.
Yes, he is. And he is hilarious. You get him going.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him, we were at Lambert's. I got to get this out real quick. So we're talking about Dr. Saz Madison. I'm going to drop that name.
Yeah. Well, he was a guest, so yeah.
And we were at Lambert's, and no way this could have ever happened to anybody else. We're sitting there talking and joking. Guy with the rolls up and goes, and we're like, yeah. He throws it a little too high. It hits the ceiling fan, splits the roll in half. I catch one half, Sass catches the other half. Both looked at each other. Dipped it in our butter. Started eating.
Might as well.
I was like, that's the coolest thing I ever had. Kind of like stepbrother. Did we just become best friends? Yep, we did.
Let's go do karate in the garage. Well, like I said, Kevin, thanks for doing the show.
Of course.
Chris, thanks
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, you got some dirt on your hat. I had to get it out. M-I-Z.
Yeah. I'm
Just LLL. That's all you see after.
I love you.
Missouri's.
Pineapple.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you are struggling, reach out. There are resources out there. If you know somebody that's struggling, reach out. Let them know that you care. Let them know what resources are out there. And take care of yourself. And we will see you next time.